Texas has a lot of history to be proud of. Its food, its music, the cattle ranches and oil fields. We could spend the next hour just listing things off, but like any land and any people, there are parts of Texas's past that might show us what we don't want to be in the future. And for many, a little-known state holiday fits that description well. So lots of Democratic legislators are trying to eliminate Confederate Heroes Day.
As we know, Martin Luther King holiday celebrates a man that has fought for equality and has fought for equality for all and about uniting a nation. But on the other hand, Confederate Heroes Day celebrates inequality and the dividing of a nation. As we saw just 2 weeks ago, the Confederate flag was carried into the United States Capitol as it was stormed by domestic terrorists. While the Civil War abolished slavery, the Confederate culture based upon white supremacy has persisted. Now, I'm going to say, I am a proud American and certainly a proud Texan, but that does not mean that I have to be proud of its horrible past. We must see our past transgressions and be willing to acknowledge them as such.
Can we do that as a state? Can we recognize when something is bad and it hurts our citizens, it embarrasses us, and throw it out? What message are we trying to send with Confederate heroes? That it was a noble cause? That people died for their country? No, we were fighting against the country. And I will tell you, it's not my message. I don't want any part of that message. I don't want to be associated with it. I don't want my friends feeling the pain of that message. I don't want to be pulled back to that inhuman part of American history. It's like attention constantly pulling at the open wounds of the Civil War and racial strife. Let's get rid of that. We should not ever honor or celebrate something that exalts the cause of the Confederacy.
The Texas government does not honor any other war-specific group of veterans with a holiday. Somehow, those who fought the Nazis and the Taliban are unworthy of this distinction, but a couple of non-Texans who fought against America to maintain a racial caste system are. This bill asks the essential question of who we are as the state of Texas. Do we acknowledge the basic equality of all men and women, or do we celebrate those who fought to subjugate Black Texans? The actions of Speaker Phelan and Governor Abbott with regard to this legislation will inform us of their answers.
We only have to look at what happened at the United States Capitol recently to see what it means to have insurrection, just like we had 160 years ago. This is a fact. Texas joined the Confederacy, citing white supremacy.
And I know Republicans alike were just as insulted to see that man walk into the nation's capital with a Confederate flag. That was insulting in itself. But I want to be able to say to all of my colleagues, thank you so much for joining in this effort. For the last two sessions, and I don't know if Representative Howard had to experience this, there is no other legislation that I have put forth where I received death threats. I literally received a number of death threats because I filed a bill that simply wanted to remove this type of celebration from Texas governance and Texas holidays. I think that's appalling. There are many people that say that this is culture canceling. And I say, absolutely, yes, you're right. This is culture canceling. There was a culture of slavery in this country at one point. And we, as a people, came together and canceled that horrible culture. Am I intolerable, is what I've been said. Yeah, what has been said of me. Absolutely. I will not tolerate. I will not allow anyone to continue to have this type of hateful rhetoric be a part of Texas, be a part of America. We must move forward. It's some of my other brethren across the aisle. And I will say this again, many of them have called and said that they are in support of this bill. And I certainly hope that they will step up. I didn't seek them out, they called me. So I was very surprised and happy to hear from them. So, but I hope that they honor their words and certainly will back up what they said in supporting this bill. And I certainly hope I can get some of them to co-author with me on